Alright, making a start to finish creation video because I got a wild hair and looked at my list of made and potential haven't made but maybe might like to make what I haven't used in a particular AT. So sat down and figured I'd make one here. Just did a slightly brief, simple outline. I didn't slot everything out or put any powers in, but I've got the powers picked by level on mids, and I'm making a Storm Blast Storm Summoning Corruptor. I'm gonna do it on the hero side because my last video I did to show how I made a character after I already kind of started the character. Still at level 1, and at the opening tutorial zone was on the villain side. So I'm going to do I already looked up, oop, dadgummit, magic, name, Aesyle, she's a Hyad, a weathered dryad kind of from Greek mythology. Probably not pronouncing it right, but found the name on Wikipedia. Hopefully it's should do a look. Yep, it's available. I don't know if Corruptor's under range damage. And then Storm Blast. And Storm Summoning Gale. She'll have a slight heal. Not a main healer in any way, shape, or form of the word. But yeah. There we go. And since she's in the Aegean area, I will start her off from the get-go in the Sybil robe, just for ease. I already have a plan then that way. She's Imperial Dynasty. Be easy to remember. No, not triptych. Where's the? It's probably down lower. Talons. Flowers. Huge evil brain. Could use else. Okay. Black with... Nope. No. Black. Click that one. A little grayer to make it a little blacker. Alright, cool. Although, I'll have to come back for that because, yeah, it's gonna screw up when I do this. Civil skin. Civil 2. What color? Maybe I'll make her a blue since she's storm and waterish. No shoulders, the belt is picked, lower body, I will do some per usual, and there are the Roman greaves, but that's more armory. I do have Roman sandals, that's usually what I pick. There's Hellenic, but you can't, they're gold, you can't change them, it really sucks. If you could change that to match the dark part of the outfit, I would use those a lot for these, but they're gold. It sucks, I really wish they'd change that. And then I usually do Senator, and then I will unclick here now, and I'll go back and change the hair, and I will make these the silver, because I think that's the 4 over 4 over. Okay, cool. So now we can go to hair and do the hair since we released it. And it's the same gray I use, so that's perfect. Okay. Now, should we do an aura from the get-go? Yeah, let's do a little smoky-ish. Gaseous. Effect body. Put in a maybe that light dark blue. Make it not as bright. Smoky. Smoldering. Ooh, yeah. That might be it. Ooh, Thunderhead. Oh, yeah. But we want it lighter. Is there a lighter version? Or color-wise. Wish you could thin it down. Maybe I'll just use a gray or white. The way the outfit pops through it a little better. Yeah, we'll try that. We can always change it later. Alright. Color tintable. Of course, we're going to go with blue there. Maybe a dark blue there. See what it looks like. Yeah, let's match that across. Check out a couple more. Oh, yeah. Storm cell. Direct strike. Chain lightning. Sweet. Cat 5. And now storm summoning. Gale. 2. Snowstorm. Steamy mist. Yeah, okay. Sounds good to me. Alright. Okay, so pretty quick for me actually. Usually that takes about twice that long, but I had a plan, a serious plan. So yeah, because of theme and everything, it really cut down on that. So cool. I always play the tutorials for badges and just because you get your first level real easy. This is a hero side, so it's Outbreak. There's an extra badge in Outbreak, but now you can do it through the flashback, so you don't have to grind the 100 infected that you have to defeat. So you can wait till later and just have fun with doing it later. So I will go through the Outbreak, the regular tutorial on this side, and there we go. Pretty basic. So this is one thing because I'd already moved my screen around on the last one. So this is it. This is how you enter the game. I move a bunch of stuff around because I have a particular HUD that I have set up, and I like it, and I just, you can do whatever, you can move whatever, you can make stuff a little bigger, a little smaller, you can add stuff, take stuff away. You don't have to use all 3 trays. I know eventually I will, so I might as well just stick them in there and get used to seeing them, because by the time I hit 50 and start getting incarnates, I'll need all 3 of those trays for various things. First thing I do is, I need to shrink this just a smidge this way and down a little more, is I go to the start vendor. She's real accessible in the hero side. The villain side, she's down the hallway in the cell block a little, but she's right here. So I go ahead and get her done and out of the way. You can go through and read all this stuff. I know what I'm doing, what I'm getting, so I just know to ask, show me your wares. And then I expand this so that it's ready for later as well, because it will stay there after I close it. Nothing under there. Prestige. Get all that. 5, one I usually don't use, but I can always just put it in the trash can in the enhancement page later. Prestige powers. Attacks. You have your standard one that you get for your origin. I picked Magic since she's from byproduct of the Greek gods, Sandamu, undead slaying axe, blah, 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 blah. And because I know she's magic, it's Black Wand origin. And that's all of those. And buff pets, shield, I will go with the Light Fairy, just for S and G. Travel. Prestige sprints, although she won't be using those, but I take them just in case. Utility, my usual inner inspiration, and I close that, and that's it for right now. I don't take the extra fast whatchamacallit, the XP bonus, because you don't need it in this first one, and you're not going to level any faster here. So that's that. Move that over there. Open up my powers. Put the regular sprint over here, although I won't use it. Pop. Go Slaying Axe, Sansamu, Black Wand, Light Fairy. Even though again I probably won't use her at all. There we go. Okay, open your auction house /AH. Throw these on, because you're going to get 2 tier 3s in about the third little mission. I say that loosely because these aren't really, these are just top 2s, run arounds and do stuff. You don't get a real mission for a couple. So you have to go knock out 2 infected, and then knock out another 2 infected, and then knock out another 2 infected, and then you get your thing from Coyote. You talk to Dr. Miller, deliver the serum. He tells you to go read all the info at the terminal, which there's not a lot. It just tells you about Metacom and defeat and how you end up at the hospital, which you've already seen if you've watched some of my other videos. But I'm going to post this as like a watch first kind of video in a way to introduce you to the game, figure out how to put it on the front page of my YouTube channel. You can talk about what else is going on. He'll just tell you should go talk to Officer Parks. Put your athletic run on. You can get there a little faster. Available mission, talk to Professor Hoffman and Lieutenant Reedy. There's Hoffman, tells you about the consider thing, just like in the villain side one, that Gray, vastly weaker, you're probably not going to get any experience. Sometimes you can get a little bit if they're only like 1 or 2 levels below you, but it's going to be very minimal on your experience. Green, 2 levels below you. Blue, 1 level below you. White, even. Yellow, 1 above. Orange, 2. Red, 3. Purple, 4 plus, sometimes plus, and they can really hurt you. And then it says 3 types, but again, there's actually 4. There's pets and henchmen, minion, lieutenants and bosses, and then elite bosses and arch villains or heroes. those depending upon which side you're on. So there, a little quick, and then now he says McCready tells you how to target, and then hit your appropriate key. So you can just target one of these drones. It's like a battle dummy, testing dummy, and hit it. It's not going to attack you, and you can kind of see. I wish it would show you how much damage you're doing to it like a real testing dummy, but it doesn't. So I talked to Parks again, and he says, hey, go defeat 2 contaminated. I was wrong. Contaminated, not infected. That's the guys in the opening part of Mercy Island, that you get the infected or blighted. Blighted, I think, are the lieutenant guys in that. Don't run too close. Okay, they're not that close. If they get too close, the drones will kill them. It'll probably still count as a kill for me, but they're or defeat, kill, same thing. Not alive. New contact tells you about your hit points and endurance there. And then run, jump to Sergeant Hicks. He's going to tell you about your inspiration, hit points, endurance, and some other stuff just to point stuff out to you. And then he's going to give you those 2 tier 3s, which you don't have to use, and I recommend putting them in the bank because they'll sell for a little bit way better than what you're going to get. And now you have to defeat 4 more contaminated. So there is a badge called the Isolator. 100 of these dudes, but like I say, you can actually come back and do it as a flashback mission, and these still count. Oh, he's gonna run away because, oh yeah, let's undock that. I like it undocked and off here. That way if I'm tracking something, I can shrink it and have it open. But if you go under defeats, it's not going to show anything yet, but it will. Oh man, I missed. Accuracy booster in it. Came back. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. How lame. Is he trying to jump over the fence and can't? No. Oh well. I'll just take out one of these guys. Follow me and get taken out by the drones. Just watch. Yeah. Oh. And he tells you, gives you some enhancements. Why did they make that undocked? That's so crazy. It tells you how to, slot them and whatnot, which is basically, yeah, you just go in and put it in psionic lethal damage. Yeah, I want to hide that. And smashing damage seems very apt for Gale. You've got Gale. Alright. Oh, and then learn about there. Yeah, we gotta go to the terminal and it'll tell us more about enhancements. Pretty self-explanatory on that in a way, but you know, I've been playing a long time. Might not be that self-explanatory to most people. I should explain more, I guess, but I've done that in some of the other videos. Basically, you can slot things in here. It's kind of like in a fantasy role playing game, you have armor slots for your body. This one, you just have a costume that you can change and pick and colorize and coordinate and whatever. But to augment your powers, you get these enhancements that drop. You can buy them, you can craft them. You get recipes that drop for set enhancements and standard invention enhancements that you can craft at the universities, or you put a crafting table in your base and you get salvage that drops, and you can make these. The set enhancements usually do like these special ones here. They do, like this one does damage, recharge, and chance for psionic damage. So it does 3 things, and it will usually tell you the percentage in the blurb. So it does 16.7 damage additional to what the power usually does, and 16.7 recharge. So Gust is a ranged smashing damage minus fly, so it will knock flying characters down out of the sky. Its average damage base is 20.9. With this bonus from the enhancement, it's 24.38. That's a 16.7% increase, which is what it said it did. And then the recharge, the cooldown is 4 seconds base value, but with the recharge reduction in it, it knocks it down another 16.7%, because it will do that to 3.43 seconds. When you level, every other time up to a certain level, you get slots to put in your powers that you've chosen, and every other time you get a power to choose from a list that becomes available to you at that particular level. Usually you get one in both sides for the most part, and you have to pick and choose. And then there's also the power pools, which you get access to at level 4, and they'll be over here. They're tertiary powers. This is your primary. This is your secondary. So yeah, you can slot these, and these special set enhancements have an extra thing in the blurb that says with a 2 slotted from this set, you get a particular bonus across all your powers, like extra recharge, extra range, extra accuracy, extra protection, either defense or resistance. There is a difference in this game, and then it can do resistance or defense to a particular type of damage, as we see here. This one does chance for smashing damage. This one did a chance for lethal damage, and then the power itself, Gust, does smashing damage, and this one does smashing damage as well. Usually within a power set, it'll stay with one kind, but sometimes it'll say extreme, which just means it does more damage. This one says minor. This one doesn't say anything, so it's regular. It's not lesser damage. This one doesn't do as much damage as say this one. And you can see it says it's 20.9. This one only does 1.9. That's very minor. It's mostly to knock back your foes and get them away from you, so that they have to get back up and come toward you, and that gives you more time to try to take out some other foe, and so on and so forth. So yeah. And then your inherent stuff, they're always on. They don't take any endurance, and they enhance particular things like swift, can do running, and fly speed. Hurdle just does jumping. Health helps your regeneration and resistance to sleep. Stamina does recovery, which is endurance modification. That's your second bar. If you deplete all your endurance, you can't do any powers, and if you have any toggles that are always on, not auto ones, but toggles, there's a difference, and we'll get to that. Those toggles will drop, and then these are all those inherents that I took for the sprint. You get the standard sprint, but then there's these prestige ones that do different animations, color trails behind them, and then brawl is just a standard punch that does minor smashing. That one's just inherent. Sometimes there is a power that's particular to your class or archetype, which this one is a Corruptor, and this one is Scourge. It increases critical damage by a certain percentage, usually. Gives you a little blurb description, and then under the detailed information, it just says it's always on, and it helps with some accuracy. So we took the last sort of mission here to go talk to Coyote. Inspirations, the things that I put on the auction house that I got from this cool little inner inspiration that you will get dropped from defeating foes, are little, because I didn't explain that, I just ran through it, sorry. They're like potions from a fantasy RPG, and they come in a couple different flavors. Green ones are health. They have like the obligatory plus sign from the doctor, from ambulances and stuff like that. Blue ones are endurance, and that matches your green for health bar, blue for endurance. Endurance is always 100. There are some things that you can add that give you a bonus to it, that will increase it by a little bit, but I think like 115 is as high as you get. Your hit points or health will go up with level, and there are some other bonuses you can get that will bump that up too. Your experience bar is the third bar below here. There are 10 pips around the level button, and you fill a bar, you fill a pip. You fill all the pips, you get a level. These are your kind of always on things, or like the athletic runs a toggle. If I turn it off, it's off. Turn it on, it's taking some endurance. That's why it's kind of flashing and it's popping down 99, 98, back to 100. It's regened, but it keeps taking it away. You'll get more of these. This is what this bar is for my toggles. These are for my secondary powers that I don't use a lot. Um, these are the ones I'll be using a lot because I hit the keyboard for them sometimes, mostly. Sometimes I'll have them, the cursor hovering so I can, if I want to pop one and not reach all the way across, I can just click it with that. You can add up to 9 bars. They are movable and configurable. Uh, and you can also kind of push them down and make them take up space. But that's the 2x6, 3x4, 4x3, and 6x2. So there's 9 of them. And you can close them, you can lock them, you can turn the numbers off if you don't want the numbers on the tray. All kinds of things. So let's talk to Kyle. Oh, and you'll get more rows of these and columns as you level until you get 5 and 4, I think. 20 total. Maybe it's 25. I can't remember. It's, even though I play a lot, some of that stuff I don't totally pay attention. I just know that there is several more rows. I think 5 and 4 up. So yeah. Accept the mission from Coyote. And I didn't explain the nav bar. Let's go through the nav bar and the mission bar and the map. The map, zoom in and out. Your objective will be highlighted. When you're on a team, it's best to select the task. Now everybody on the team will see the red highlight. When you're solo, I never select the task. I select it here if I have multiples that I want, and then I just go to the yellow pip. But that's because when you're solo, you can see it. But if you're teaming and you're like, okay, we're going to this one, and you haven't selected the task and turn it red, your teammates will not be able, that's if you're the leader of the group, your teammates will not be able to see this and won't know where to go for the mission. Contacts, give your contacts, a little drop down, active, inactive, detectives, and tips. The mission, that just shows the list of the mission. Some people keep it open, some people don't. I keep it open. Clues, these are clues on the current mission that are basically background lore kind of information. Souvenirs, once you finish a story arc, because there are story arcs that are sets of missions from anywhere from 3 to 15 missions, and once you complete that, you'll get a souvenir from the contact, the mission giver, the quest giver, person, and it'll have a short synopsis of the story arc as kind of a reminiscent, and it counts toward a badge. And then there's architect souvenirs. I've run an architect thing, and I've got the fire geode from something that I've done on another architect mission on another tune, but it's all gathered under one, so that's just there. And then the badges, you can see your most recent, and I got a bunch of architect ones because they go across, and a couple, and this accolade that goes across all your characters. You don't have to earn these every time. They're account wide. Then you can see closest to completion, exploration. There's little markers on the ground. You get close enough to them, you get the toast pop-up that says you've got this exploration badge. There's plaques. You read all the different plaques in various locations. Not all of them will be in the same zone. the same map, and you'll get a history badge, accomplishments, achievements, accolades, gladiator, veterans, PvP, inventions. That's the crafting. Defeats, events. Ouroboros is the flashback place, black market, or Wentworth. That'll change as soon as I get into Atlas Park. Day jobs and architect entertainment, which is the ones I got that are, some are account wide and some are not. So that's all that. And now the mission is find formula, defeat all thugs. There's no other hostiles on this map other those in the red zone. That's a little thing on a map too. We'll make it really big so it's easy to see. So in all the zones they will have neighborhoods. This one doesn't exactly have it because it's just the tutorial. But they'll have a pin usually in the middle of the demarcated area, and you can set that pin as a waypoint kind of if you want to get to that area, so you can close your map or shrink your map or whatever. I just opened the map up big so you can see. And then it will also usually have a abbreviated, a couple letters to represent contaminated. They're only level 1. And then this weird little thing is an overlay that's part of the mod, some of the mods that you can get for the game, that tells me this is where I need to go to get the isolator badge and kill 100 contaminated. The rest of the map on here isn't outlined or anything, so it's safe. There's the hospital, there was the start vendor, and this one represents the caregiver day job badge. You spend a little over 4 days of time, and it doesn't have to be all at once. You can park your tune there and then go back the next day, and you'll have a little bit earned, however long you were logged out for, to end up getting the day job caregiver, which I haven't done anything, so it's still on here. These are 2 that have auto-populated, but it doesn't have the bar that I've spent any time there. So this is the caregiver, and this one I know is the professor at the university. The zones or neighborhoods will be color-coded, usually red or higher level for that zone, and it'll tell you the level range. Green levels are usually pretty safe. There might be some baddies there, but there's usually very minimal. Then yellow are orange are getting a little and then red are the higher level zone, or neighborhoods in a zone. Click on the door, go in the door. You'll get a little pop-up blurb of defeat any enemies around Flower Knight to rescue her, and click on the glowing computer to search through it. Those things we colloquially call glowies. Con the baddie, they're yellow minions, so they're level 2, I'm level 1, so they're a little tougher than me, but not by a whole lot. And I will shoot them, and hit him, and I'll shoot him, and do some more damage to him. Those 2 back, and then I'll shoot this one. And I'll wait till these get up, and then I'll do that, and maybe only get the one, because RNG. Now probably pushing that, and I got Scourge, so I got a little extra damage, and I did it there too, so nice. Now, I might not get that yet until, well, no, it says that's auto. And that's, they have domination, which is actually a click once you fill up a third bar that you have in between the experience. Yeah, that can be a thing. Them brutes and sentinels. Have a vulnerability power that's weird. But she's gonna help out a little bit here by shooting them with the good old bow and arrow. And hey, she got it. Now we can hear the glowy. Look, it's not in. Oh, we got a little bit of an ambush. I have a mod on the glowy to make it kind of, instead of the thrum that it is, it makes it a little easier to zone in on it. You can, and it gets a little louder, but we know it's not there. We can click on it and then it'll put it on the map and it'll show you a pin. It's 73 feet away. Right there. We click it. Searching it. And now we got the finish on it. But we still have to defeat all the thugs. So there's some more guys down here in this last room. Probably just 2. And there we go. Highlighted now. There we go. You don't have to run all the way back. You can just hit exit. It'll put you at the front door outside the mission. There are some types of missions we colloquially call street sweepers. They're out in the regular zone and you just have to defeat so many. Or there's a couple, sometimes they're very rare, few and far between, but there are patrol missions where you have to go click on the call boxes that are throughout the different areas, neighborhoods of the zone. There's a couple, they're mostly low level. There are a couple mid levels missions that ask you to do that, but again, they're kind of off the beaten track. And then for finishing that, you said go talk to Miss Liberty. Now it's gonna transport you to Atlas Park and it tells you you're level 2. Go see Miss Liberty. She's the trainer. If you don't know anything and you want some help from people and you want to tell people you want help, you can choose helper. If you know a lot of stuff, you can, or I mean, you can help me if you want help, and if you want to help people, you can pick help. Totally backwards, of course. It's early. Late for me, but early. And there's Miss Liberty. For some reason, she's off the center. You train up. She'll tell you you reached level 2. You get another power. You also get fitness and rest. They'll populate here on the tray, and I'll move them around. And rest will allow you to heal your wounds. We call it taking a knee because that's the animation for it. You kneel down on one knee. Do not do that in the middle of battle. Do not do that when there are a lot of mobs close by, because if they aggro to you, they will come over and hit you for a lot more damage because you are affecting self only, and you have to pop back up pretty quick. And then it tells you about the fitness, jump high, recover quicker, rest allows you, visit the trainer, 333 experience to the next level. So I believe I was taking hailstones. Yes, I was. That's on my plan. So select your power, finish, it'll populate that power. I'm going to move it there, and there's the walk, there's the rest, and then it gives you a special little 30 minutes of flight pack, and you can go to the start vendor and add time to it, and away I go. Now the first exploration badge is right there, and that's the rookie. There's another one way up there on the top of the globe. Ooh, let's zoom out. The Atlas is carrying, and now because I'm magic, it gave me Azuria as my first contact, and she is inside City Hall. Now there is a start vendor here and some vendors to sell things and buy things. Right here, you don't have any money yet. And here's the start vendor, and I have to check on something right quick. I'll be AFK a moment. Alright, I'm back. It's probably one of the feral cats rambling around outside. Got me a little water. Alright. Oh. And my inspiration is recharged, so I can hit that. Throw those in here. I'll get a couple first tier inspirations to drop, and maybe some enhancements that I can sell. These are non-sellable at the vendor here, and then I will have some influence to get this, because this is the one thing I do. Because if you haven't watched my other videos. I have a farmer, is what it's called. We call it, or the rich uncle, and he funds all my other characters, uh, somewhat. They do earn some stuff along the way, and a little bit of they'll have a seed for something, but um, once they hit 50, what they haven't kind of gathered along the way and stuff, and need to fill out their build for enhancements, uh, I run him through an architect mission once a day for about an hour, and I get 15 million influence, give or take. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. Depends upon things, and some things that I get that I can put on the auction house to sell. So yeah. But after you do the tutorial, what I always do is I go to temp powers and buffs, and there's experience boosts. So there's 3 levels. It's 25%. It cuts your influence gain. Influence, infamy, and information are the 3 forms of currency for the 3 different factions in the game. Infamy is villain, influence is heroes, and information is Praetorians. I will do a Praetorian thing next. I'll have to I've got a list of a couple other characters I want to make, and I'll make one of them Praetorians, and we'll go through the Praetorian tutorial, and it's totally different. Heroes are called the blue side because your starting HUD and stuff is all outlined in blue. Villains is usually called the red side because they're red. Praetorian is the gold side because it's gold. But you can go in and actually change that right here, user interface. If I wasn't Storm on this one and her thing is blue, I would change it and keep it sometimes because I like orange. Orange is my favorite color. If you haven't got that because you haven't watched my other videos, you'll learn that orange and black are my favorite colors. But right here you can change your scale of your UI. There's lots of stuff in here that's customizable too. You know, not just your graphics and audio, key mapping controls and stuff like that. But and I can undo the changes and not load it and just close it. So whoop. You want kind of violet, whatever. You know, you want a little different blue. Maybe I'll keep hers a little lighter. Green. Sea mist. You know, you can go whatever. That was about 60%. And then blue is at 100, but if I tone it down, then I'm going to get more green in it. And then you can make them very opaque, or, you know, I like them just a smidge opaque. And then the cursor scale, you can scale that up too. So, and then you can show your name. Everybody will see your name, but if you want to see it, you can turn that on, and you can dim chat. You can profanity filter, disable, you know, pet name, powers, blah blah blah. There's tons of stuff depending upon what you want to do. Your chat bubble, I usually change this too to match my color scheme. So the text is black, that's fine. I want it more blue to match her, so I will change that just a little. There we go. And then I just hit apply, and now it's saved, and then I can close it. And when I type something in local or wherever and you get your little chat bubble, it'll match that. But okay, so back to this, because I got sidetracked from the influence, infamy, and information on explaining the 3 different factions. Oh, and the Praetorians, I need to say that too. The Praetorians have the opportunity at level 20 to come to Primal Earth. That's the earliest you can get to Primal Earth as a Praetorian, is level 20. That was the original 3 zones. Nova Pretoria, Imperial City, and Metropolis get you from level 1 to level 20. Then during another expansion they added First Ward and Night Ward, and you can actually stay till level about 40. Sometimes you can get a little more than 40 before you come, or you can go back and do some stuff there after you come to Primal Earth. There is a way to get to level 50 and not come to Primal Earth, and that's called a pure Praetorian. And some people, the people that usually do it, usually stay in Pretoria. Then there's not a whole lot to do at 50. It's more of like a prestige thing, or something to see. It's not that super hard to do, but it's just kind of like, hey, I did it, it's cool. And I mean, I've got one, and yeah, I'm slowly working her up for incarnates. There's only one flashback mission you can do as a Praetorian. Well, no, there's a couple, but there's only one that you can do to get incarnate stuff, unless you can get people to run an eye trial through Pretoria, which is not the easiest thing to do, but it's not super hard either. It's easy to run the thing and everything. It's just hard to get people to want to do it just through Pretoria instead of through Primal Earth. So, because Primal Earth makes it easier for the hub and everybody to get there and blah blah blah. So, yeah, having a level 50 pure Praetorian. There's 2 factions in Praetorian, but Pretoria is called the gold side. There's the resistance and the loyalist, but we'll go through that when we go through the tutorial of Pretoria. So yeah, 25% boost of experience, but your infamy, influence, or information is lessened by 25%. So you take a cut. So if you get 100, if your mission's worth 100 and you get 100 influence, you're going to get 125, but you're only going to get 75 influence. Pretty easy math. The next one's 50-50. 50 increase, so now that 100 turns to 150, and your influence goes down to 50. The next one is 100% double. So now that 100 is 200, and the infamy is, or information, or influence is zilch. 0, nada, nothing. So you're not earning anything to purchase stuff in game. Again, if you have as many tunes as I do, and you have a rich uncle that farms stuff, and in an hour I can get 15 million, that means once you hit 50 and you want 8 or 10 purple Professor Plum 50 level super monster inspirations that cost 15 to 20 million a piece usually, it's going to take me 4 to 8 days or depending upon how many you need to farm those. I do get the occasional recipe, and that makes it a little quicker because they're only 600,000 to craft, plus 3 ultra rare components that are 600,000 a piece if I don't already have them in the bank. But yeah, it makes it a little cheaper than buying them at 15, 16-ish million to 20 million a pop. So yeah. So if it's your first character, you wanna, you can maybe do this one or this one, but you're not gonna get as much money. But there is other ways to make money in game, by doing story arcs and getting merits and turning merits into stuff at the merit vendor, and we'll go through that as we go along. But yeah, yep. So let's, oh, there's Makey. This mainstay in Atlas Park. So we got our first contact. Did I purchase? Oh, I didn't purchase my. Geez Louise. I gotta go back out. Let's try that again. I thought I purchased them, but I didn't. Experience boost. And you can purchase, and they're free. It's called purchase, but you can get 8 hours worth, and it won't let you get any more. And you can check that by under power, and there's your double XP booster, and you right click on it and hit info, and it'll tell you how much time you got left. So yeah, there we go. So now we go talk to Aeysle, but we're gonna go stand in front of the statue and marvel at it. Oh look, we got a badge. Okay, there's one on the floor right there. And Aeysle. So there's the 5 different origins. This is probably tech, maybe science. No, that's scientific. That's probably technology. This is mutation. Natural. Oh no, that's probably tech, and this is probably natural. Yep. And then magic. And they all, Magi. Modern Arcane Guild of Investigation. And here's Aeysle. She's your first contact if you're magic. Ask about available missions. Take on the Hellions and show them what's what. Your contacts are also a store, so you can sell stuff or buy some inspirations. If you see a plaque on the wall, there's usually a little info about either whatever's there or the location. Not all of them are plaques for history, but there are 20 hidden around that aren't called out like this other plaque number 1 up here is, and they are for a new badge called the Bicentennial, I believe. So yeah, but this one is a street sweep. Defeat 5 Hellions around Atlas Park. So and so see, we are in a green zone, and there's really, you can target some guys, but they're on the other side of the fence in the yellow zone. And there's some white level minions, so we can, oh, I forgot, I'm a ranged guy. Girl, I can, I'm a blaster that's not a real blaster, but almost a blaster. This, the Corruptor, so the archetypes, as they're called, not true classes, but they can fill a couple different. Some of them can fill two different roles. Although a blaster is almost always, wow, let's get stuck on the fence and ride it like a rail. A blaster's pretty much always a damage dealer. They don't do. Some of their powers can add a little bit of crowd control because it, Ice Patch makes everybody jump around, as I call it, jump around. Some of their other ice powers as an ice blaster do slow movement. So they can do a little bit of crowd control, but that's minimal. That's more of a controller as a support. It's just a secondary extra thing that some types of blasters get. But Corruptor, depending upon your power set, because there's multiple power sets within each archetype, could be more of a control support person and not so much a damage dealer. My Corruptor is going to be a damage dealer the way I've got it planned out, and with the power sets that they have. I mean, there's a few things that they could do and focus on, and sometimes you can change that with what sets you put in your powers too, because some powers don't just have damage sets for them. They can have crowd control type buff debuff sets. So defenders and dominators are usually support, but you can also make them either range. Some, again, depending upon the powers that you pick, the power sets that you pick, you can have a damage dealing defender in a couple different situations. They're not going to hit as much DPS as a blaster or a scrapper, which is a melee DPS class, but they can still fill that role, and with the right enhancements and play style. And again, maybe they only have 5 ranged powers that do a lot of damage, and they've taken some other stuff that can do a little bit of control, but they've slotted those 5 powers really heavy, and they can do a lot of damage. So they could still be a top DPS or 2 if you build them right. And then with the incarnates, you can really augment that and make them, hero arch-villain level stuff. So yeah. But there's technically the archetypes aren't just one particular, tanks are there's 3 archetypes for tanks in this game. The tanker, which is the original one that started on the hero side, and then when they added the villains playable, instead of making a pure tank for them and giving them a pure tank, they made what was called the brute. And up until going rogue, which is the Praetorian thing, you couldn't cross over. You couldn't, if you wanted to be a brute, you had to be a villain. Now you can, an issue or 2 after going rogue, because they made it so that you could change your alignment from villain to rogue, and then go to a hero. Well, vigilante and then hero. It was a 3-step process. You had to go from villain to rogue, vigilante to hero. Uh, Now you can swap instantly, or you don't even have to swap. You have that option of starting a hero character and making it a brute from the get-go. But brutes aren't as defensive as a tanker because their primary stat is still damage dealing and their secondary is armor or defense. But if you focus on the defense just because it's your secondary stat, you can make them very defensive oriented and make them a true tank. And then the Collidans, which are the alien race that can inhabit and be symbiotic with a human, have 3 forms basically. The human form, the Nova form, which is colloquially called the squid, even though it doesn't actually look much like a squid. It's got a lot of arms on its shoulders kind of area, and they wiggle around a lot, so they look like tentacles. So people, players colloquially call them the squid. And then they have the dwarf form. Not a dwarf as in the classical fantasy sense, but as a dwarf star in that sci-fi sense of a dwarf. The white dwarf, red dwarf, stuff like that. And that's colloquially, instead of calling it a dwarf, they call it a lobster because it looks like doesn't really look like a lobster again, like the other one doesn't look like a squid, but it's got shell kind of armor stuff around it on it, and that's their tanking form, and you can focus on that and make it a tank, make it a DPS, or make it kind of a hybrid with the Humi build. Once you hit a particular level, you can go to your trainer and swap builds. So you can even do that with a regular one if you have access to certain powers and you want to have like a support corruptor and a damage dealing corruptor. You can pick different powers or slot them differently so that you're focusing more on, like, say, the O2 boost, Steamy Mist, and some of the other stuff that does repel and everything, and locking, and depending upon the power itself. Some other powers have more crowd control, but maybe you're not focusing on those powers, but all of a sudden you decide, hey, I want to make a CC, a crowd control version of this character because it's there. I just didn't focus on it because I focused on damage dealing, or vice versa. You focused on the crowd control, but you see, hey man, I could make a DPS version of this. So, bada boom, bada bing. You go make a second build. It's like building a whole new character without building the whole new character. You just do a different power set, and then you can swap between them. But that other build you have to go get all new enhancements for, because it's going to start fresh with all its slots empty and everything. So you have to double dip, and it's expensive. You know, even if you farm, it costs a lot of influence and infamy to build a character if you're gonna min-max them, or maybe not totally max them, but you don't want to, you want to build them not totally gimped either. You might not totally maximize everything, because again, the high level superior enhancements cost a lot. unless you get super lucky with your drops and you get the recipes. Yeah. Didn't it? Oh, and then it hit. Okay. Alright. Fog of War, because I don't have reveal yet. I will be getting that very soon. There's nothing else back here. This was a dead end. This was just a room. And yeah, this was a dead end. I didn't verify that. I thought about it. I'm like, oh, shoot. So, tasty XP if I can hit him. Without XP because I have 100 boost. I'm already halfway to 3. I'll get 3 during this one. Oh, this is that room. Okay. So I call this the pinch room because of the shape of it. It's like a little pinch over here. There, just those two guys. Yeah, buckshot. So he's got the shotgun. Does knock down. And it's quite deadly at close range, so be careful. Level. Gets a second floor. So, this is what I call it, the pinch. This little pinch right here, and then there's a third floor. There's usually nothing on the second, and there's guys up there. Yep. Oh, come on. I buffed up. Inspirations for 30 seconds. I don't put anything other than the freebies that I get in until level 7 when I can slot level 10s, and then around that time, depending upon whether I've been able to log or what have you, I will have one of my mains invite me to my super group so I can have access to all the enhancements that I have stored in there. And yeah, I don't just have rich uncle, I have several rich uncles and a couple rich aunts that have done all the crafting badges so they can craft all that stuff. It doesn't cost my Lobi characters anything because the crafting enhancements don't stale out. The ones that you get, like, see, I got a couple now that I'm going to sell as soon as I get out of here. In 3 levels, this will go red, the number will go red. So like level 5, maybe more than 3, maybe it's 5 levels. It might be at level 7. This will go red, and then it won't be giving me this 9% increase anymore. But if I wait till level 7, you can slot level 10s, 2 levels above, basically, or 3 levels above. And then those don't go stale in 5 levels. They still give you the percentage, just like these. These are special enhancements, so they're level 1s. They give you a pretty good percentage compared to this one at only 9%. And they stick around. Now it says here at level 21, this effect, the smashing damage, however, this effect will cease to trigger once the player reaches 21. So, yeah. It'll still give me the percentage, but the smashing damage won't trigger anymore. And that's so people just didn't keep those in. Yep, okay. That niche is over. I leveled like I thought I would. And now I'll show you that I just vend those enhancements. And once I sell these, I'll pop my inner inspiration again. And gotta go back and talk to Aeysle because she hasn't given you her cell phone number yet. We're not a trusted contact yet. We're just an acquaintance, I think is what it says. It should say on there. Oh, that's badges. Contact. Yeah, acquaintance. You're not super trusted. Nope, missed it. No, I didn't think I'd reach that. So here's another. Oh well, I'm on the side anyway, so it doesn't matter. But if you're coming from the back of City Hall, instead of running all the way around to the front, you can hit the back door. And it's going to pop you right at the front. A lot of people don't know that. But turned in. Now in the old days, you had to go get your level before you did this, because if you accepted the mission in the old days, you hadn't leveled up, she'd give it to you at level 2. But I don't know if they did it. They changed that later in live, because it's been so long since 2012 when the last time I played live. But they've changed it on Homecoming, so that's amazing. They might have changed it on live too. I don't remember. Oh, I'm gonna go here, sell my stuff. I could have sold it in this area, but I'm gonna buy a couple things from the start vendor, so it doesn't really matter. So, oh, but first, I have to go to the auction house and make some money. I'm going for 25,000. Almost instant sell. All the third tiers I just pop on for that particular amount, and then they're all sold, and now boop, I got 100,000. These might not sell right away, but I will put them on and they will sell eventually, because I don't really use these unless, oh, well, that one's sold already, so I'll go ahead and grab that. So now, show me your wares, and I will get my Revelio, and I will I'll turn a couple things off to start earning a badge or 2 or 6 or 8 eventually. Inspiration drops, all those ones I just sold, I don't need them now because I've got a little cheddar in the bank, so I'm going to reject all small. It cost me 5,000. And then on recipe drops, I'm going to reject all common. I don't reject the other ones. Start picking those up at level 10. But this gets me access to 2 badges, and badges are just something fun to collect in the game, and that's it. So now I'm going to level, and this should be slots. And unless it's an auto power, or a power that doesn't take enhancements, set bonus enhancements, which you can find out by detailed information. I don't know. I thought it showed that. Doesn't. Okay. Well, then you kind of got to look at the power. Oh, there it says. Yeah, it's down here in real fine print. Gust. That one wasn't. Allowed enhancements. Reduced endurance, enhanced range, enhanced recharge speed, enhanced damage, enhanced accuracy. Those are just the plain enhancements, though. Doesn't know the set bonuses. Or the ones that take set bonus. So yeah, you gotta make sure, because if it doesn't take a set bonus, I don't put a slot in it. It's just the way most everything, I at least 3 slot. A couple things only 2 slot. Really the majority of stuff I 4 slot, and then I try to 5 or 6 slot. 2 or 3, just depends. Because there are some powers I will take that don't get any slots because they don't take a set. So yeah. Bust Bahamut and his crew. There's the supergroup portal, but I can't use that yet. I'm not a member of my supergroup yet. There's the Taylor, the icon building, and the hospital right there. What time is it? No, it's not. Still got at least 30 more minutes before I gotta get ready, go pick up my meds and go to the grocery store. So, oh, I didn't put my Revelio down here where I always put it. Now I clear Fog of War. I get to see the map. There are some instances where I don't reveal the map. If it's a bug hunt, what I call a bug hunt mission, sometimes I won't reveal the map because, yeah, it's just it makes it a little easier if you've got to find something. Because you can tell where you haven't been. If it was more of a cloud of war instead of a fog of war, it'd be nice. You could at least see the map and tell where you haven't been. But it's a true fog of war. You cannot see any of the map. Unlike the zone map. The zone map, you can at least see some of the zone map. Back in the day, the zone map was total fog of war too. But nowadays it's War. See the general shape and the outline of the neighborhoods. You just can't see the neighborhood pin placements and tell which neighborhoods they are inside that neighborhood. Okay, you don't have to locate the pin, but oh, buckshot again. Missed him, of course, twice. Whoever knew 4 seconds was so long. Man, the recharge is only 4 seconds. It's really quick. Yeah, until you're playing the bloody game. There we go. Now he's gonna run away. But he's gonna turn around and shoot me at least one more time. Oh shoot, did I get? Yeah, I aggroed them too. I'm gonna have to backtrack. Okay, they de-aggroed. They're not coming. I'll just make sure by running back a little further. And now I rest and take a knee. And now it will go chonk 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 chonk. After only affecting self comes up, it really starts to fill up. And I'm almost at level 4. Alright. Unrest. I missed both of them because I don't have any accuracies in there. I'm such a low beat. I mean, I'm only level 3. Just because I'm so used to playing level 50. Playing some lower level tunes since I started making this stuff. My other philosophy too in playing the game is clear the map. I show that on my earlier I haven't posted, I'm about to post for my one and only play session yesterday. I took a little break. There's a glowy up there. I saw it. Let me get to these guys before my bonuses drop. They'll start dropping here pretty soon. I'll make it so I might not miss so much. Now they're gonna go any minute, any second because they're flashing. Close enough. I think it's 45 seconds instead of first piece of invention, salvage. So let's get that where we like it, and you can put it wherever you want on the map, but I like mine here, and we'll open more, and eventually it's going to get a bunch of junk in there. Oh wow, I got an uncommon. I don't need that in the base. I will sell that for anywhere from 1,200 to however much somebody wants to pay for it on the auction house. And sometimes people want 4,000 or 5,000 toward those just because they're at cap on their influence. People that have so much influence, they hit the capacity on it. They do weird stuff in game to give it away, hide and seek, costume contests, all kinds of junk. There's the glowy. Saw it before I heard it because I'm used to looking for them. Oh, find the, yep, found the talisman. On the first one, it might only have one. Sometimes there's multiple ones to click. Sometimes there's not. There was multiple ones to click. Looks like there were two. Because it won't show you one until it's the last one on the map. Usually. Sometimes when you click on the extra glowies, it gives you a little bit of influence or experience. It just depends. Sometimes not. You can usually tell if there's a bunch of glowies and you've been getting a click, or when you click you get it. When you're, it didn't say anything for that, so I'll click on it anyway when I get back there. Because I gotta defeat the guy in his crew, and he's probably around here somewhere, or no, over here somewhere, because I come in this way. This is a mainstay map. Some places it's like filled with cars, up on lifts, it's a garage. Some places it's turned into a dance rave thing with a stage, speakers, and balconies, extra balconies that have people dancing at. And sometimes when it says the main guy and his crew, it can be just the few people that are around him, and sometimes it's the whole room. So if it's a big room and you've taken him down and his few guys around him, and you haven't got the mission exit completion thing, wipe out everybody in the room, and then you should get it. If you don't get it, there's not very many of those left anymore. There are some that happen when they add stuff to the game. Because there's a badge called the Bug Fixer or Bug Hunter. Oh man, I want that badge really bad, but it's really hard to come by. The patroller, where's his buddy? Let's see, there's the other glowy, and there's probably Bahamut. So we're gonna whack these guys up top here, because that way I won't have to come back up if it's everybody in the room. That hard to come up the stairs. I'd rather just take them out now while I'm up here. Yeah, see, sometimes there's this conveyor thing and it's like a warehouse dock thing, and other times there's nothing here but some car lifts, like it's a mechanic shop. The Connex crates or intermodals aren't there, whatever you want to call them. Depends upon where you worked in the past, or the Connexes or intermodals. Some guys underneath the thing over there. Let's see if this gives us anything, or if it just says there's nothing in the crate. You found some minor talismans. Okay. It's funny, they will use your name in some of the verbiage conversations. Yep. So there's either nobody over here or they're not part of the... Yep, okay. Done deal. If they would have been there, I'd have taken them out just for the extra XP, because my theory is clear it. Especially if you've already been through the whole thing. If there's another little group over there, you almost get as much for a couple groups as you do for the whole thing. I'm almost level 5. Where's some guys to take out so I can do 2 levels at once. They're green, but oh, I need almost a whole bar, but that was about 20% ish. That was about a third. I'm almost at a half. They're gray. They ain't gonna give me hardly anything. Oh, she might get... Oh, I gotta go talk to her. Well, I really want to level before I talk to her. Oh, there's some guys. Oh, he's blue. He'll be really good. Well, he'll make me level. Just about. Yeah, I see 8 experience. I'll clean them up. So they'll respawn in some other way, shape, or form. And since I'm at the back, I'll go ahead and go in. She might, since I hit the level, she might give me another mish. She might not. It's level 5. But I know I'm gonna get the twin shot missions now if she doesn't give me anything. Oh, she give me another one. I'll take it. Finish. No, she doesn't have any. Yeah, never mind. I'll leave. I can always go to King's Row and get to 10. Because, yeah, once I level, I'll get the twin shot contact. And that's one of the first major story arcs you get. You can get. There's another one, but... Alright, so... New power. This is level 4. This is... Well, it says you're security 5, but first you have to train up to level 4. So this is where you get access, and it tells you here that you unlock new power sets. The pool power sets, or power pools, whatever you want to call them. Alright, so they have some augmented stuff that, like, if you want to be stealthy, you can take concealment. It has infiltration, full stealth. This is low level stealth, not pure stealth. This is pure stealth. And then grant invisibility to your teammates. And then at a certain point, the next level that you get, you can pick... Or no, I think these are after level 14. Phase shift and misdirection. Experimentation. Experimental injection, toxic dart, speed of sound. This is super speed. There's also super speed down here by itself, but some people don't want some of the other stuff that's in the super speed power pool. So this one, they made these a couple new power pool sets that grant you the travel powers, but with some different flavor stuff. If this goes more in line with your theme and character. You know, you don't have to build the most awesomest, most powerful superhero every time, you might want a theme, and just, you know, for flavor and for fun, because the game's fun to play. Come on. Fighting. If I was a tank, I would definitely be taking this later in my build because it adds an extra couple of things here called Tough and Weave. I have even taken Cross Punch just for, again, thematic stuff for S&G. You know, kind of cool. Plus, it's a pretty powerful little thing if you can, if you're a melee damage dealer and you can work it in. If you read what it does, and you slot it out with 4 slots, it's amazing. Because it says if you have trained boxing, the damage on this power increases by 15% and will improve your recharge and accuracy briefly. Or if you've, you know, trained kick, it will also do it. I don't think it stacks. I don't think if you train both. But you have to take boxing or kick to get the rest of these. Unlike some of the other ones where you get 3 to choose from, you have to take these, and then you'll get access to Tough and Weave, and then Cross Punch. Flight. This is the first pure travel power set on the list. They're alphabetical. Fly, hover. Air superiority is cool for some things, but a lot of people don't take it unless you have a lot of problem with flyers. Afterburner you get automatically. Well, when you take fly, it's a click special afterburner, so you get a little speed boost in your fly, and then you got group fly and evasive maneuvers. I always take fly, hover, and evasive maneuvers if I'm doing flight, which I am on this one. But we'll go through the other ones right quick, just so you get a little overview. There's a couple. Force of Will. This one has the super jump, Mighty Leap in it. But if you don't want combat leaping, combat jumping, and acrobatics, and a couple other things that are in leaping that most people don't take, but they take usually at least those 3. I used to love super jump. I still love super jump a lot, but I've learned to love fly because of evasive maneuvers. Makes it pretty nice. But yeah, you get super jump, and then a couple other weird things. Takeoff comes with the super jump as a secondary. I think it's a little bit of a teleport. Stomp your foot. Oh no. Stomp your foot, empowering your jump speed and height for a short time, shattering the earth, knocking down foes. Yeah. Wall of Force, Unleash Potential. Some of these are pretty cool. It can work really well with a build. It just, you know, it's all what you want to do. Leadership. I will take these at various times on various characters, but on my masterminds I always take them. Defenders, I usually take them, and sometimes I'm a blaster, sometimes I'm a tank, sometimes on my scrapper. It really just depends on if I can fit it in the build. But on masterminds, I for sure take it. Defenders, I try to for sure take it, and occasionally, like I say, on a blaster or tank, if I can fit it in, if nothing else, just to add some extra stuff for me and the other melee damage that might be around me while I'm tanking. It can come in handy. Assist you with defense. This assists you with damage, and also makes you resistant to taunt, placate. This never gets slotted because it only takes endurance and something else, and it doesn't take sets. I usually just take these 3 tactics after I've taken these 2, and tactics helps with the to hit. You can put a to hit buff set in there, and it's pretty helpful. The leaping is the other major one I take with super jump and combat jumping, and then aerobics, which helps you with knockback if you're not a tank. This can help you with knockback and resistant to hold effects. Now on a couple of my bunny tunes, and I have a couple bunny tunes, I have Cabanig Cooney, which is the White Rabbit from Monty Python. And then I have Ether Bunny. He's a scrapper. He puts people to sleep, so that's why he's called the Ether Bunny. I might even have it on Cutie Bunny. I'm not sure. I can't remember all of her power set, but I know I took it on Cabanig and on Ether, the jump kick, because they're rabbits. I mean, it's just it fits the theme, you know. Um, I might even take an acrobatics on Ether, but maybe not Cabanig. But Cabanig might even have acrobatics, but I'm pretty sure I took jump kick on both of those. Medicine, if you're some even imp defenders will take this just if they want to be pure empathy and have even more powers to help keep the team alive. It's really not that necessary anymore. Imp defenders are not as big a thing as they used to be back in live. But the other thing that's nice about it is an imp defender is you can heal yourself. Now granted, the aura heal in imp defender will heal you somewhat too, but this could be the difference between you staying alive and keeping the team alive and not. So you won't usually take resuscitate because that's a res, but you could if you wanted to have access to another res. But I don't know if it shares the cooldown with the regular res from empathy. And field medic boosts you, so you know, could be a thing. Presence, I don't know if this one gets taken a lot. I mean, some tanks might take it, or some scrappers might take it, but some support might take it to pacify. But provoke is basically a taunt, and a tank's got that. Scrappers even can have that power. Some take it, some don't. Intimidate. This taunts a single foe. Provoke, I think, it's kind of a taunt too, but at a targeted location. And then some of these other ones might fit for some stuff for some of the crowd control people. So presence, I've never taken it for anything, but I don't do a ton of crowd control. And usually I have enough crowd control in my controllers that I've never even considered it. Sorcery gives you Mystic Flight, Arcane Bolt, Spirit Ward, some other cool stuff. And Translocation is a teleport that you get with Mystic Flight, I believe. Yeah, instead of taking flight, because you have a, magic themed character and you want it to look a little different, you want some of this other stuff, you take this. You don't get hover, you don't get evasive maneuvers, but if you don't want those, you just want the Mystic Flight and you want something else in here, it could work. Or you want to take the Mystic Flight, but then take flight to get hover and evasive. I mean, that could work too, I guess. Speed. This is the super speed power pool. There's that other one in the one up top, but this one also has hasten and flurry. Flurry is a cone multi-attack hit, and then speed phase, whirlwind, and burnout. I mean, if you want to do that kind of stuff, man, I've tried super speed. It's not bad, but it's just not for me. I respect it out of that power in one of my tunes that I've tried it on, and it can work, but yeah. And then teleportation. the last travel power pool that almost nobody takes unless you're a stone tank or you've learned to really like teleportation and know how to play it, which it's amazing. Um, I love it on my stone tanks. I would take it on some other tunes, uh, maybe as a theme, but yeah, it's really fun to use teleport. Um, Also, if you're a support person, you can take uh, target teleport and then eventually team teleport, so you can teleport the team to the locations. Combat teleport is nice as a tank because it doesn't cost as much endurance and it gives you a little boost. Um, and it recharges instant unless you do it more than 3 times in a row, and it gives you a little advantage to hit. So you can pop around a group 3 times to boost your to hit a little higher each time, and then just taunt them and you know. But as a stone tank, if you use granite, I should have prefaced that. Not all stone tanks use granite. But if you use granite, because of its movement speed is so slow and you cannot really jump up on a ledge at all unless you drop granite. But if you're in a fight, you don't want to do that. If you're in a big fight, so then you can combat teleport up to another group or whatever. Team teleport, fold space. Yeah. And that's the last one. But we are taking flight on Aesyle, or however her name's pronounced, Aesyle. Yeah. And we're going to take flight first. And there we go. Now we have that power. And now we have slots available. So we're going to go Donk, Gale. You got Gale. And that's it. And away I go. And now I got the twin shot contact. And then I'm going to put fly there. And afterburner there, just like I always do. And then I'm going to go turn this stupid thing off right quick. Because I hate it. Now, when you first take flight, you're going to have a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? When you fly, you, oh my gosh, I can't think of it. You drift. You know, so you have to stop. If I want to get to the back of the truck, I want to just barely hit it because I'm going to drift. But I'm going to pocket D, and it has afterburner on this secondary tray. I like afterburner right next to my flight power. If I'm going to use it, I'm going to use it pretty quick. This is a special weird co-op zone. That's a dance party and a place where a lot of special events happen. It's called Pocket D. It's another dimension. By DJ Zero. He's the DJ up in the middle there floating. It's a co-op zone and everybody's happy and doesn't fight each other unless you go to the arena. But I'm going over here to mow the goal to turn this off. We gotta get down there to him. There he is. He does a lot of stuff. Interesting NPC that was made for various reasons. But he has this wonderful one, third one up from the bottom, called "Could you disable my travel power pop-up tray?" Boom, it's gone. Yay! He can do a lot of other stuff. He can change your alignment immediately without going through the whole mission stuff. You know, you can change your Mystic Fortune preference. That's a little buff that people give you And if you're tired of them giving it to you and you have to click on the thing to accept it all the time, I forgot about that. I should do that. Accept Mystic Fortune all the time. He also does... Who are you? Well, I'm a talking seagull, for starters. I also have fantastic reality-altering powers. Powers I will gladly employ to make your life that much more quality. Or qualify your living. Or, well, it will come to me someday, I'm sure. Can you make me more powerful? What do you mean, can I make you more powerful? I have reality-altering powers. Of course I can make you more powerful. Let's see, I could give you a plus 10 level shift, whatever that is. Or I could give you a massive buff to your defense, or a massive buff to your damage, or I could buff your recovery. What am I listing things off for? I could just buff everything. Whatever a buff is, I'm a reality-altering seagull after all. What an interesting hypothetical question. That was just a hypothetical question, right? No, it wasn't. Make me more powerful. You should learn to walk before you try to run. Metaphorically, that is. Unless you actually can't walk. In which case, I suppose that it's terrible rude of me to say, but the point is that you're just starting to learn how to develop powers on your own. Get out there and level up a bit, whatever that means. It's really probably quite inappropriate for me to even consider giving you more power. Then again, I've heard people say it's quite inappropriate for a seagull with reality-altering powers to be in Pocket D in the first place. And here I am. I'm still here, aren't I? Oh, yes. Good. Alright. I guess I can give you a bit of a boost. Are you really and truly sure you want this to be made more powerful than you could ever even imagine? Yes, I'm sure it'll make me more powerful. Oh, my God. And there you go, you get turned into a seagull. And you get the gullible badge. Gullible. Never mind. Alright. It's great fun. This was such a fun thing that they put in the game. And you get the gull incarnate. When you look at it, you're buffed to the max. Except you can't move. Oh my gosh. You're immobilized, but you're buffed to the max. But you can't move. You can't. What do you do? What's going on? And here, yeah, it's just too funny. You didn't think I was actually gonna make you more powerful for really real, did you? There you are. Now you're back to normal. Looky there. Isn't that fun? There's another one in here too, and he's right over here. It's Blarf. Squish. Oh gosh, I clicked on him. Now what? Oh, I'll pet him again. He's so cute. Cute and cuddly and squishy. We'll pet him again. Maybe we shouldn't. What's the sign say? Oh, who cares about the sign? We'll just keep petting Blarf for a little bit here. And wait, what's... Oh my goodness. And you get a badge called Nutrient Rich. Hospital's right here in Pocket D. Yeah. Health and safety violation. Tiny monster. And there he is, way off in the distance. There we go. Good old Blarf. There are a couple... There's a base portal here. There's a hard light vendor. the start vendor. There's Blarf. There's a portal to Imperial City. There's some contacts and a portal to Echo Plaza. Then there's the ski chalet in the center that is used during the winter event. You can go out and play in it all times of the year, but it's mainly used during the winter event. And then there's a portal doorway to the Winter Forest area, which is just a fun little zone. And then I think you can see Echo Plaza. Oh, it's over here maybe. Off into the distance somewhere. Oh, it's over here. Oh yeah, there it is. Way off there in the distance, that rock. That's Echo Plaza, I believe. Yeah, one side's kind of the blue side, heroes, the other side's the red villain side. That's where the ski chalet entrance is, of course. And then there's various points to other places. If you're a rogue or a vigilante, you can cross over to the other side. If you're a true hero or villain, you can't cross over to the opposite side, but you can go into a mixed faction state. Let's go grab the badge while we're here too. God, I hate the drift. Tiger, baby, that's funny. Oh, and I'm going into the wrong place anyway, because you gotta go through this to the Monkey Fight Club area. And then there's a badge over here. There we go. That's cool. Alright, but I got my power tray turned off, so now I need to go back to Mercy, which... Quit moving. Oh, what's over here? There it is, or I mean Atlas Park, not Mercy. Wrong zone, wrong thing. Couple players running around, and I'm going the wrong side anyway. What am I doing? Wow. There we go. There, door back. And there are a couple other points: Founders Falls, Talos, Fault Line, Kings Row. Or if you have a supergroup base, or make a supergroup base, you can get the teleporter beacon for Atlas, or I mean Pocket D, and then you can just port from any zone through the portal, supergroup portal to Pocket D. But it's really weird. There, one thing you can always tell it's the Pocket D thing because there'll be the little flyers on the ground outside the truck or the manhole cover. Oh yeah, there we go. Now to go talk to Twin Shot. And we'll probably end our video after we talk to her. She's right here. She was on your contact list. That when you hit level 5, she became a contact, so you could click her and point to her on the nav bar. She's a newer contact, and she has this nice 3-part, 3-arc, mega arc in a way. One's good from level 5. You can take it any time. For the first part, after level 5, you can't get the second part, the second arc, until level 10, and then you can't get the third one until level 15. But yeah, she's just an introduction to like grouping, and then an extra added tutorial. Her counterpart on the villain side is Dr. Graves, and I just, on the video I'm about to post from yesterday, I think, I did the Dr. Graves. I finished the third arc on Dr. Graves on Or did I finish the second arc on Pyroclastic? And maybe I finished... Yeah, I can't remember. I might have finished the whole thing. Man, it's... played a lot in the past couple days, so, yep. Alright, that's it. I'm going to go to City Hall to log out to get day job experience for City Official. And, yep, that'll do it. Now let's go ahead and clean up our thing. Oh, see, we sold those. 1, 2, 3. I did 6s instead of 5s. It'll still sell pretty quick. Alright. There we go. We got our first vendor, or our first Wentworth's badge, the vendor badge. So, yeah, that's under black market. It still hasn't changed. It still says black market instead of Wentworth's, but that's fine. Sold 10 items. Yep. Alright, that is it. I am Audi 5000. As we used to say back in the day, thank you very much. Have a great day and stay safe out there.